Let's jump right into this explainer because we're about to fundamentally change how you look at your astrological charts. If you're a student of astrology diving into the deeper mechanics, or honestly, even if you've been at this for years, you might kind of feel like you're only seeing half the picture. And well, you probably are. Today, we are exploring a game-changing, two-dimensional approach to astrology that unlocks a completely new layer of precision. So here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the Zodiac riddle solved, then look at coordinate 1, sidereal longitude, followed by coordinate 2, tropical declination. After that, we'll cover the daily diurnal cycle and wrap it all up with the absolute power of 2D transits.
All right, part 1, the Zodiac riddle solved.
If you've studied astrology for more than 5 minutes, you have definitely heard this endless, heated debate. You know the one. Which system is actually correct? Eastern or Western? Sidereal or tropical? People argue over this constantly. But what if I told you that this entire conflict is actually based on a massive misunderstanding? The source material has this absolutely brilliant analogy to clear this up. Asking which system is correct is literally like asking whether geographical longitude or latitude is more correct. I mean, neither system is wrong. They just represent different coordinates. Anyone who's ever played the game Battleship knows that you need both coordinates to pinpoint a location on the board, right? Well, to pinpoint a planet in the sky, you need 2 coordinates too. It's a real light bulb moment because it shows that the zodiac debate isn't actually an East versus West thing at all. It's really a conflict between a limited, one-dimensional astrology and a complete, two-dimensional astrology. The sidereal system, that gives us coordinate 1, which is celestial longitude. The tropical system is an Earth-based system giving us coordinate 2, declination. Let's break these down one by one.
Moving on to part 2, coordinate 1, sidereal longitude.
So celestial longitude is the coordinate most of us are already using. In Jyotish, you'll hear this called Nirayana. This tracks how the planets travel through that 18-degree wide zodiac belt set against the actual physical backdrop of the stars. Think of it as the horizontal path. It's measuring the angular distance right along the ecliptic. Now, as planets travel along this horizontal longitude, they inevitably hit sensitive transition points. I mean, every cycle in astrology has them, right? In the sidereal longitude cycle, these sensitive points are the 12 sign junctions. But the absolute most sensitive spots, those are the 3 Gundana junctions. We're talking about those incredibly precise transitional borders between Cancer and Leo, Scorpio and Sagittarius, and Pisces and Aries. Okay, let's add that second layer in part 3, coordinate 2, tropical declination.
If you really want to grasp the tropical system, you have to realize that it has nothing to do with the actual backdrop of the constellations in space. Actually, scratch that. It's purely an Earth-based system used for a quick overview of planetary declination. Basically, it measures the angular distance of a planetary body either above or below the Earth's celestial equator. It's the vertical piece of the puzzle. When we start using this vertical coordinate, we're no longer just looking at your standard conjunctions or squares. We are looking for equatorial aspects. The first of these is what we call the parallel aspect. This happens when 2 planets are at the exact same distance from the celestial equator, and, this is absolutely crucial, they are in the exact same hemisphere, so both north or both south. On the flip side, we have the contraparallel aspect. This is when 2 planets are at the exact same distance from the equator, but on opposite sides, one north, one south. And let me tell you, this aspect hits incredibly hard. Why? Well, within just one 24-hour rotation of the Earth, a contraparallel aspect literally creates a direct opposition that cuts straight through the exact center of the Earth. Just like our first coordinate, declination has its own super-sensitive transition points. The tropical chart gives us 12 sensitive cusps, but the 4 absolute most critical ones are the equator crossings at the cusps of Aries and Libra, and the highest northern or southern stationary points at the cusps of Cancer and Capricorn. Let's bring time into the equation with part 4, the daily diurnal cycle. Okay, let's dive into the diurnal cycle. As the Earth spins, it creates this daily cycle that revolves around 4 highly sensitive points based entirely on your specific geographical location. We've got your horizon points, the ascendant in the east and the descendant in the west, and then your meridian points, the midheaven at the top and the Coeli at the bottom. So why do these 4 angles matter so much?
Well, if you have natal planets sitting exactly on these angles, you become highly receptive and just incredibly sensitive to planetary transits. It amplifies absolutely everything. In fact, historical and spiritual texts actually note that even Lord Rama and Lord Krishna were born with the sun sitting exactly on the meridian. It's a huge indicator of profound cosmic sensitivity.
Which brings us to our final section, Part 5, the power of 2D transits. This right here is exactly why two-dimensional astrology is an absolute game changer. Think about it. If you only look at one dimension, longitude, you might see the sun and moon at the same degree and think, oh, okay, it's a simple new moon. But by adding that second coordinate of declination, you can see if they're also on the exact same horizontal plane. And if they are, you don't just have a new moon, you have a highly powerful exact solar eclipse. When we use both dimensions together, we can spot the absolute strongest possible affliction in astrology, the three-body lineup. This is when three bodies perfectly align in 2D space. Step 1, you have the Earth. Step 2, the Karaka, which is the natal planet being afflicted. And step 3, the transiting malefic planet that's actually causing the affliction.
These exact 2D transits usually happen in two main forms. The first is a parallel conjunction, where a planet practically eclipses another. We call that an occultation. The second is a contraparallel opposition, where the Earth sits perfectly right in the middle between the Karaka and the malefic. Because their planetary rays are perfectly united, these three-body lineups hit with significantly more force than any standard one-dimensional transit ever could.
Now, when we combine this rare 2D transit with your daily diurnal cycle, things get seriously fascinating. If a three-body lineup happens to align directly on your daily local meridian, so your midheaven or Imam Koli, the Earth isn't just taking the hit, you are. The intense united planetary rays are aimed perpendicularly, pointing directly at your exact local geographical position.
Which leaves us with a final, absolutely crucial thought for any dedicated student of the stars to ponder. By ignoring that second, vital coordinate of tropical declination and arguing endlessly over east versus west, what vital cosmic information are you leaving completely unseen in your own chart? What hidden eclipses are moving right over you while you're only looking in one direction? Definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining this explainer, and keep exploring the full dimensions of the sky.